None of us like to think that we're a bad partner, but being the asshole in a relationship isn't always obvious. It can be very, very subtle, and sometimes we can develop massive blind spots as to whether we are the asshole or not. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 signs that you might be the asshole in your relationship and give you the tools to turn things around. So picture this, you're having dinner with your partner and they bring up something that's bothering them. You listen for a bit, but then you kind of joke and just tell them that they're too sensitive. If this sounds familiar, this is just one example of how emotional control dynamics can create massive discords in relationships. It's really crucial to know that these kind of behaviors can often fly under our own radar. They can seem harmless, but they have a huge impact on your partner's well-being and the relationship's overall health. Self-awareness is the first step in this journey. By recognizing these behaviors in yourself, you're taking a very rare but courageous step towards creating a healthier you and a much more fulfilling relationship. So let's dive into these signs and discover how to disrupt these. So I want to open by just saying that by simply watching this video, you have taken the very first courageous step to uncovering the hidden ways that you might be sabotaging your own relationship. A lot of people don't really self-reflect, let alone seek out answers or ideas as to what they can do better. So I just want to say that it's actually quite a bold move in taking this step to reflect on yourself and your own behaviors and seeing what you can do better. So yes, there are hidden ways that you can sabotage your relationship. And just before I move forward, if you do want more videos like this on relationships, communication, and even ADHD, then feel free to subscribe to the channel for new videos every single week. So the first sign that you might be the asshole is the just joking jab. So those little digs that you make at your partner, the ones that you think are kind of harmless banter, they might be crossing a line into emotional discords. Oftentimes, these cross the line in very small ways into invalidating your partner. So for example, constantly teasing your partner about something, a habit that they have, a way that they speak, the way that they dress, their intelligence. Even if you think it's playful, it can really damage your partner's self-esteem. And this isn't about your partner being fragile. This is about constantly building up discords within your relationship and breaking what we call emotional safety. So I'm just going to briefly talk about what this is, but if you do want a deeper dive into it, I've actually done a whole video on emotional safety, which I'll link to above and in the description. But emotional safety is the ability to express your thoughts and feelings without negative consequence. So being able to tell your feelings, no matter how strong they are, no matter how they come out, being able to express it very, very freely within the relationship. That is the feeling of emotional safety. So it's crucial to know that when these jokes continue, despite your partner's request to stop, or maybe they're laughing it off, but they're not really feeling it, this creates many, many emotional discords. The next sign is the feeling dismisser. So this is where you invalidate your partner's emotions by telling them that their feelings are wrong or irrelevant. So you might say things like, you're overreacting, or it's not a big deal. This kind of behavior leads to feelings of rejection, invalidation, and can even cause depression in your partner. What happens is that it creates a sense of alienation within the relationship, making your partner feel unheard and unsupported. The third sign is what we call the button pusher. And this is when you intentionally provoke reactions in your partner. So for example, let's say your partner feels jealous sometimes. If you're purposefully going out your way to speak to someone in order to get your partner to maybe build resilience or become less jealous, doing something that you know will upset them in order to get a rise out of them, this is when you're purposefully pushing someone's buttons. And again, this is a sign that you are the asshole in the relationship. Because what this does is it takes your partner's feelings and it actually uses those feelings against them. So if your partner is jealous, you're purposefully understanding that they have jealous feelings and you're using those feelings as a weapon against them. What this does is that it breaks emotional safety because it tells them that whenever they're vulnerable with you, you're going to use that as a weapon against them. But it also is going to keep them in a heightened emotional state, not knowing when you might set them off again, when you might use their feelings against them. But there are 2 more behaviors that can create massive rifts in relationships. One of them is so insidious that it can make your partner doubt their own sanity. So sign 4 is the gaslighter. So gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation. This is purposefully manipulating your partner to question their own sanity, to question their own reality. It's the ultimate invalidation. It's crucial to know that this behavior causes a loss of self-trust and confusion in your partner. So you might use phrases like, you're crazy, or you're imagining things to discredit their experiences. You might tell them that they're a psychopath, a narcissist, they have bipolar. This is one of the biggest invalidations that you can do to someone. It creates huge amounts of emotional discords and can have a really long-lasting impact on your partner's mental health. One of the biggest signs that you're the asshole in the relationship is the emotional manipulator. So this is when you use guilt or other emotions to control your partner's behavior. So for example, you might threaten to leave them or give them the silent treatment when they don't do what you want. And this creates an unhealthy power dynamic in the relationship, and it leads to resentment and it leads to fear. So to address some of these behaviors, there are tools that you can use. For the just joking jab, try cognitive restructuring. So this involves challenging and changing the thoughts that lead to harmful behavior. For the feeling dismisser, practice emotional validation. This means acknowledging and accepting your partner's feelings, even if you don't agree with them. And I've actually done a deeper dive video on validation, which I'll link to above and in the description down below. But validation is crucial to building a strong and healthy relationship. For the button pusher, work on impulse control techniques to help you resist the urge to provoke your partner. So to address gaslighting, practice active listening and validating your partner's experiences, even if you disagree. For emotional manipulation, work on developing healthy communication skills and expressing your needs directly instead of using emotions as weapons. Being able to recognize these patterns and putting in the steps to take action on them is what I do with all of my Ultra Normal members. And if you do want to join us, then join me on my free relationship bootcamp, where you'll learn the same steps and tools that all of my members have used to repair and grow their relationships. Just click on the link to grab your place today. Developing emotional intelligence is a really powerful tool to combat all of these behaviors. This involves recognizing and managing your own emotions, your own triggers, why you feel the need to gaslight your partner, why you feel anger towards them, why you feel scared, why you feel jealous. Recognizing and managing your own emotions is crucial, as well as understanding and empathizing with your partner's feelings. This skill helps you to respond to conflicts and to be able to overcome the emotional discords within the relationship and be able to overcome them in a constructive way, reducing the likelihood of resorting to manipulation or gaslighting. So it's important to understand that acknowledging these behaviors in yourself isn't a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength, and it's the first step towards creating healthier relationships. So you may have seen one or more of these behaviors and thought to yourself, damn, I think that's me. But here's the thing, awareness alone isn't enough. You've got to put in the work. So it is possible to change, but it requires effort. It requires recognizing these behaviors and then digging down into the roots of how and why you perform these actions, and then putting in the work and the actions in order to prevent these patterns from happening again. So start by reflecting on your actions and their impact on your partner. Ask for feedback, even if it's uncomfortable. Remember, this isn't about beating yourself up, it's about growth. Self-reflection is a powerful tool that can transform not only your relationship, but your entire life. It's about understanding your motivations, challenging your beliefs, and developing emotional intelligence. And this process is going to be tough, but the payoff is massive. Not only will you improve your relationship and build the relationship with your partner, you'll also become a better version of yourself, a more attractive version of yourself. So the question is, are you ready to take that first step? You know, I've spoken about this before in a video, which I'll link to on the screen, but mastering your emotions is the most fundamental, crucial step that you can take in repairing and building your relationship. By mastering your emotions, you're able to master your relationship. So I'll leave you with that deep dive video, and I'll see you over there.